Good evening and a very warm welcome to Radio and Television Tonga News Package for the hour. Making headlines, Prime Minister Huakava Meiliku welcomes the South Pacific Defence Ministers meeting in Nuku'alofa. A pre-COP27 stakeholders consultation with Tonga delegation held today, and Tonga celebrates the two sports team Thales victory over UFC Funda and Matema Tonga against Papua New Guinea. We'll have these and more stories later on in the bulletin, including the latest sports news to be wrapped up by your latest with update for the hour. Now I'm Vafana Dupola with the stories in detail. The Honourable Prime Minister Huakava Meiliku welcomed the defence ministers and senior delegates from the region yesterday to discuss Pacific security challenges and build collective Pacific responses. The meeting will close today with delegates led by Australia's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defence, along defence ministers of Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Japan, Chile, Fiji, United Kingdom and United States. Honourable Huakava Meiliku said the Kingdom of Tonga is proud to welcome defence ministers and senior delegates as the region faces growing traditional and non-traditional security threats that affect us all, including climate change. He added the meeting will see collaboration of sharing information and enhancing amongst the countries. Huakava Meiliku says they are committed to working together to support each other in times of crisis. The event is the first in-person meeting since 2019, with delegates agreeing that the next meeting will be hosted by France in 2023 in New Caledonia. As Tonga still battles the impacts of climate change, developed and developing countries are still focused on climate change. The 2022 United Nations Climate Change Conference, or COP27, is expected to be held in November in Egypt, with member countries including Tonga to attend. Today, a pre-COP stakeholders consultation aims to prepare and consult with the Tonga delegates who will be attending the COP27, which will be hosted by Egypt in Sharm el-Sheikh from the 6th to the 18th of next month. The Chief Executive Officer of the Medic Ministry, Balama'u, said major issues were discussed during the COP26 last year in Glasgow, included the agreement by member countries to reach a net zero carbon emission by 2050 at the latest, with deep emissions reduction targets in the 2020s. There were also commitments to phase out a new direct government support for international fossil fuels. Mao adds that Tonga should work to combat climate change as the Pacific are facing the major impacts of the issue. He adds the Pacific is already facing the reality of climate change even at the current level of 1.2 degrees Celsius. The greenhouse gas emission have reached a record level and are still rising, and if there's no action now, many low-lying atoll islands will be uninhabitable within our lifetimes. Mao said the COVID-19 pandemic, despite its devastating impact on the people and livelihoods, must not be an excuse for inaction. The Tongan COP27 delegation believes the pandemic can be a catalyst for greater climate change ambition, more urgent action, and better rebuilding action. The Tonga-China Friendship Association, in conjunction with Guangdong's People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, or with the support of the Chinese Ambassador to Tonga, His Excellency Xiao Xiaolin, and the Chinese Embassy of Tonga, handed over 300 school bags to the principal of the Free Wesleyan Church Primary School at Nuku'alofa, Viliami Mau Mau. And the occasion was a happy and lively event with over 200 students in attendance. His Excellency Mr. Xiao Xiaolin presented the first primary school bag to His Royal Highness Prince Taufa'ahau Manwatau Nuku'alofa, a student of the Free Wesleyan Primary School. In his opening remarks, His Excellency Xiao Xiaolin said to the students, "The developing education is both important to Tonga and China, and today's event is aligned to the priority." Xiaolin recalled a famous quote when speaking to the students, encouraging them that the eagerness and vitality of their young life is like the morning sun, to take their education seriously, and they are the future of the country. His Excellency Xiao Xiaolin hoped that some of the students may qualify for scholarships to China in the future. The primary school principal, Viliami Mau Mau, conveyed their gratitude to His Excellency as they are greatly appreciated for the gift donated, as it shows the importance of Tonga having many friends who can assist to raise the education, health and quality life of every child. The highlight of the event was the many happy, energetic and smiled faces of the students who sang for His Excellency and cast as a display
of their gratitude.
And 19 participants from the Tonga Red Cross Society completed their first course of the Pacific First Aid Instructors Program to become a first aid trainer. The treasurer of Tonga Red Cross Society, Aloma Johansson, handed over the certificates to 19 participants who completed this course. Alice Dupo takes up that story.
The treasurer of Tonga Red Cross Society, Aloma Johansson, handed over certificates to 19 participants who completed this course. The training is about getting to know how to do first aid, and those who achieved this program will become trainers that will educate communities on first aid. The training started last week, and 3 participants from Wau joined together with 3 participants from Hawaii, 1 from Ewa, and 12 in Tongatapu. The Secretary General of Tonga Red Cross Society, Sone Tamuefolau, told Radio and Television Tonga News that they are excited to carry out this training so that it could upgrade the staff of Tonga Red Cross Society's knowledge on first aid. They will also help train people in the communities to develop skills in first aid and how to utilize it when someone gets injured or when natural disasters occur. This training was funded by the International Federation of Red Cross, or IFRC, and supported by New Zealand Red Cross, or NZRC. A representative from New Zealand Red Cross, Leslie Jacobson, and International Federation of Red Cross from Fiji, Reyes Khan, conducted the training. However, Tamuefolau adds that these 19 participants who graduated with their certificates will be able to use their qualifications for 2 years before renewing once another first aid training takes place. Reporting for Radio and Television Tonga News, I'm Alice Tupo.
That is the latest from local scenes with Tonga Development Bank. Sports is up next with Mark Ake, proudly sponsored by Pacific Timber and Hardware.
Tonga has won its first Rugby League World Cup match against Papua New Guinea thanks to a late try from Kian Kolomatangi. The Rugby League world has been littered with blowouts to start, but the Tonga has now won a thriller 24-18 win against the Kumals thanks to a last grasp try. The Tongan outfit, stacked with NRL talent, had to wait until the 78th minute for South Sydney's Kian Kolomatangi, who played a lengthy stint at hooker, to touch down. The Kumals only had 2 established NRL players, fullback Alex Johnston and center Justin Olam, in their starting team, but comfortably accounted for the Tongans for the majority of the match. That was reflected in the fact that with 10 minutes to go, scores were tied 18-all in front of 10,409 fans at St. Helens Totally Wicked Stadium. Papua New Guinea, which was a $12 outsider, had begun ominously, with skipper Rhys Martin scoring after just 6 minutes. Winger Dan Russell, who was a late inclusion for Xavier Coates, was unlucky to not have followed him over the line twice. Tonga was under the pump, and Will Ben Sydney scored a try against a run of plays, which sent the small legion of fans decked out in red into a frenzy. Moeaki Fotuaika, an 18-year-old Dolphins-bound youngster, Isaiah Katoa, both crossed off the back of a long-range tries to put Tonga back in control with an 18-6 lead at halftime. But that was immediately shortened when the Kumals playmaker, Lachlan Lamb, scored in the first minute of the second half. This was made possible thanks to a break from dummy half by the man of the match, Edwin Ipape, who popped an offload to a supporting Lamb to touchdown. Despite having a try to winger Roderick Tai chalked off, the Kumals kept pushing, and they got their reward when Tolota'ugola knocked on at the play of the ball on the Tongan line. Papua New Guinea struck, and after being denied twice earlier, Russell made no mistake with his third attempt, going over off a set play from a scrum. Martin converted to square the game at 18-all. Katoa missed a chance to put Tonga ahead, up with the 75th minute penalty, but to his relief, his side did not need it. Pushing for a late try, the ball went through 8 sets of hands, hitting the ground 4 times before Siosiwa Tauke Aho grabber kicked through for Kolomatangi to touch down and seal the victory. To netball, Tonga's historic win this morning led to celebrations not only for the achievement, but also for the Tala's victory in the third round of the Pacific Oz Netball Series last night. The Tala beat USC Thunder 59 points to 39 at the USC Stadium showroom in the Sunshine Coast. As usual, sharpshooter Unique Pahlavi scored another game high after sinking 38 goals, while Marie Hansen added 9 of her own and 6 points each from Vika Koloto and Beyonce Pahlavi. USC Thunder skipper Anika Lee Jones scored 24 points, while Yasmin Richters added 15. Tonga will take on the Australian Pathway at 6 p.m. today and will be broadcasted live on radio and television Tonga.
Now, the latest weather bulletin issued from one of the staff of the Tonga Meteorological Services from Whaamotu.
Welcome to our weather forecast for today. From the current weather situation, a weak trough lies over Tongatapu, Ewa and Ha'apai this evening. Associated clouds with scattered showers to Tongatapu, Ewa and Ha'apai this evening and tonight. Here is our forecast for tomorrow. For the Niuas and Vava'u, light to moderate east to northeast winds variable at times, becoming southeast winds about tomorrow. Cloudy periods with isolated showers. For Ha'apai, light to moderate east to northeast winds variable at times, becoming north to northwesterly winds about this evening. Cloudy periods with scattered showers about this evening and tonight. For Tongatapu and Ewa, light to moderate north to northwesterly winds variable at times, becoming south to southwest winds about this evening. Cloudy periods with scattered showers about this evening and tonight. From the Marine Weather Bulletin, here is our forecast to midnight tomorrow for Tonga coastal waters. For the Niuas and Vava'u coastal waters, east to northeast winds 10 to 15 knots, then variable up to 10 knots at times, becoming southeast winds about tomorrow. Slight to moderate seas up to 2 meters. For Ha'apai coastal waters, east to northeast winds 10 to 15 knots, and becoming north to northwest winds about this evening. Slight to moderate seas up to 1.5 meters. For Tongatapu, Ewa, Tonga and Tirikitokelau coastal waters, north to northwest winds 10 to 15 knots and becoming south to southwest winds about this evening. Slight to moderate seas up to 1.5 meters. From the tide predictions, low tide will be at 5 minutes to 9 p.m. tonight. High tide will be at 5 minutes past 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. Sun and the moon, sunrise will be at 6 minutes past 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Moonrise will be at 4 to 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. From the 6 days forecast for Nuku'alofa, mostly fresh to strong southeast winds and cloudy periods with showers from Friday to Sunday and becoming fine from Monday to Wednesday next week. Maximum temperature will be around 26 to 29 degrees Celsius. Minimum temperature will be around 20 to 24 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity will be 70 to 95%.
That wraps up this evening's news package, but before we part, here's one final look at today's top stories. Prime Minister Huakavame Liko welcomes the South Pacific Defence Ministers meeting in Nuku'alofa. A pre-COP27 stakeholders consultation with Tonga delegation held today, and Tonga celebrates the two sports team, Tala's victory over UFC Thunder and Matema Tonga against Papua New Guinea. And that's it for tonight. Thank you for your company. I'm Waifunato Bola. Good evening.